Now, just talking about the birds and the bird energy, and because when you do readings and stuff like that in those energy areas, um, it proves that we're not the only ones, right? That animals have souls and energies just like us, right? When it comes to energy readings and energies, right? So if someone did a reading like they do in the readings, they could pick up the animals as well, right? As we're all God's creatures and we're all connected in the same ways. And I was talking about that a little while back as I was just pulling out of after I talked about going to the police station and all these things. And then I end up just stop talking about that area as I had to still learn things ourselves. And if people don't want to talk about it, that's an area you pretty much need to learn yourself, right? And so it was a few years ago, and I was doing recordings. I can go back on, it's on YouTube, some of these. I'm pretty sure most of it's on there. Where I was going to the church as I was having money issues and trying to catch up on some bills and stuff like that. Perhaps I should have went even a bit more often as I've still got bills to catch up on, but I don't like to use others all the time if I can. And I tried other steps to try to make money myself since then, right? But with no success as I've had continuing bullying and issues in my life where it's hard to get certain areas or do certain things with my illness and the issues I've been having. And so I went up to church a few times, just did it a few times for a little while to help me get back on my feet a little bit. At that time, I was also selling stuff to try to fix up a few areas, right? As I videoed, right? And sold some of my camping gear and stuff like that. And so I went up to the church, and as I was up there once, I talked to a couple of people about budgies. One person had a conversation. I mentioned about budgies, and they said they had a budgie. And then another person also had a conversation where I talked more further outside and with their vehicle, and they said that they might pop around, but they never did in the end. They might have, but I might not have been home, and I was pretty much always home, so I see no reason why I would have missed them popping around if they did. Right? And I talked to them about animal energies, and that readings can be animals as well, right? Which I just showed you a little saying just earlier about the birds and the animal readings and how they can pick up and who they can be and how they act like us, and they could be readings just like ours. You could get mixed between them, right? But yet they're actually animal readings. What do you think about that? This is the first time I've actually did a video since then about that. I've gone all quiet in certain areas when it comes to those areas. But I find that it's true. So if you believe it's true, you let me know. Otherwise, just leave it alone when it comes to this area. No comment, please. And see you later. And perhaps one day I might have to run into these people again.